Welcome to Substitution Review. Sorry I couldn't be with you today, but I'm still here. So let's take a look. We're reviewing substitution. So like I said in the directions up here, I'm going to do the first two with you as a refresher. Then if you feel confident, you can do 3 and 4 on your own. If you don't feel confident, you still want that little extra help, I will do 3 and 4 with you as well. So let's look. We use substitution when we have at least one of our equations with y equals. So because both of them are y equals, we can definitely use substitution. So remember, substituting is taking something and plugging it in for something else. So if I look at this 2x plus 3, y equals 2x plus 3, so I can plug in 2x plus 3 for y. I can replace it. So instead of a y here, I now have what it equals, which is 2x plus 3. And then I have my equals 5x. Well, now I can just drop my line and solve. So I'm dropping my line. I want to move all my x's to one side, so I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. And when I do that, I get 3 equals 3x. Now I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 3. And I get that x equals 1. Now that's fine and dandy, but that means it crosses at a point x comma y. So my job is to now find y. So over here, I'm going to write find y. And you can pick which one of your equations you want to work with. I'm going to pick the second one because that one looks easier. So I have y equals 5x. Well, y equals 5x is 1, so I'm going to plug in 1. 5 times 1 is just 5. So now that I have x equals 1 and y equals 5, I can write the ordered pair 1, 5. And that is my answer. So that means that if I were to graph both of these lines, they would cross at the point 1, 5. And I knew that there was going to be a solution because both of the slopes were different, right? And if there's different slopes, they cross once. All right, so that's an example of when the y's are both by themselves. So all on this left side of the paper are where y is by itself both times. So you're going to use the same method of setting them equal to each other each time. Number 2 is a little different. Number 2, the first one does not have y equals, but the second one does. So when I'm using substitution, you always circle the one that is y equals, and you plug that in for y in the other equation. So here I start with my x plus, instead of y is the same as x plus 2. So I'm going to replace that with x plus 2. So I have x plus, and my y is now x plus 2 equals 6. Well, now that I only have one variable, I can combine like terms. I have x plus x, which is 2x plus 2 equals 6. So now I can drop my line and solve this two-step equation. I want to isolate x, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. I get 2x equals 4. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and I get that x equals 2. Now again, that's fine and dandy, but I still need to find y because this means it's going to cross at a point. So when I find y, I need to pick which one I want to work with, top or bottom. Well, this one is the easiest because it's already y equals. So I have y equals x plus 2. So y equals my x is 2, so I have 2 plus 2. Y equals 4. So my ordered pair is going to be x, which is 2, comma y, which is 4. And that's my final answer. Okay? All right, so remember, if you're feeling confident, go ahead and try 3 and 4. When you're done trying 3 and 4, I want you to go to the end of this video and check your answers. Now remember, this is a time for you to show me what you know and for you to practice while getting extra help if you need it. So please don't go to the end of the video and copy down the work because you're not going to learn anything. And remember, you have to do the 6 problems on the back. So please learn something, okay? All right, so if you're still struggling, I will go through 3 and 4 with you. So let's take a look at 3. So remember, 3 has y equals for both of them, just like 1 did. So when I do that, I can pick whichever one I want. I'm going to pick my top one, y equals x plus 1. So that means I'm going to replace my y in my second equation with x plus 1. I'm going to plug it in. So here, instead of a y, I have x plus 1 equals, and then I have 2x minus 3. Well, from there, I can just drop my line and I can move some things around. So I'm going to move this x over to the other side because I want to get all the x's on one side, and I always want to move the smaller one. So I'm going to subtract x. These are going to go away. I'm left with 1 equals x minus 3. Got to get x by itself. I'm subtracting 3 over here. The opposite of subtracting 3 is adding 3. So when I do that, I get that x equals 4. All right, halfway there. Now I need to find my y. So to find y, we're going to pick which equation we want to work with. So I'm going to pick the top one. Y equals x plus 1. So my x is 4, so y equals 4 plus 1. Well, 4 plus 1 is 5, so y is 5. So the point where these two lines are going to cross is 4, 5. And remember, I should have known that they were going to cross at a point because this had a slope of 1 and this had a slope of 2. Because they're different slopes, it's going to be one solution. All right? Okay, let's look at number 4 together. So y equals 5x minus 6, and then I have this other equation down here where y is not by itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle what y equals, and I'm going to plug it in to this y right here. So I work with my second equation. I have negative 10x plus 2. Now instead of a y here, I have 5x minus 6 equals 3. So now to solve this equation, I have to distribute my 2. So I have negative 10x plus 2 times 5 is 10x. 2 times negative 6 is negative 12 equals 3. Well, if I look here and I combine my like terms, negative 10x plus 10x, that cancels and that's just 0. So I'm left with negative 12 equals 3. Is that possible? No, it's not possible. So that means there are no solutions. Remember, you can get no solution, one solution, or infinitely many solutions when you're working with these problems, okay? So this is the end of the video. Make sure that you look over these before you work on the back. If you have any questions, the teachers in the room can help you. Remember, at the end of doing the back page, at the end of doing this page, you have to go onto Schoology and you have to enter your answers for these in the quiz. All right? Okay. Hope you had fun. Bye.